Welcome back, everyone, to the GGBL. We've got the divisional rounds happening here tonight. Game number ones will be simulated. It's a little bit different. I kind of want to change some things up here because it has taken some time to get the GGBL playoffs going here this season. So game ones will be simmed. Game twos will be simmed as well. Game threes are only going to be simulated if there's a tie. So in order to break the tie, we'll sim it. Either way, the games that you see here in highlight form will be if a team has a chance to win it and advance to the championship series. So that's kind of really the highlights, the Cliff Notes version of what you kind of need to be prepared for here for this video. So as you guys saw, we did simulate game number one there for the Richmond and San Francisco series. Richmond will get that win, and it really wasn't that close. Seattle gets a loss. Wow, so Shevchuk got the ball here for game number one, and you can see his line score there. He went 5 2/3, and he actually didn't pitch all that bad. 8 strikeouts. He was just 1 out away from a quality start. He did his job, but San Diego just had enough offense there against the bullpen of Seattle in order to get it done. So the Gauchos up 1-0. So this game number one here for Phoenix and Columbus will be between Janiel Rivera and Rico Ramos Jr. That's a highly touted matchup here. We're going to sim that one. Phoenix gets a victory. So they get started off here on the right foot. That's really nice to see if you're a Phoenix fan and you're really hoping for the upset. Oklahoma City will get a loss to Michigan. Johnny Hammer will get saddled with the loss. There was really some debate there because of Oklahoma City playing in the wild card matchup. I had kind of debated who was going to get the ball here, but it looked like Hammer was probably the best guy to have the ball in his hands for game one here for the divisional round. But Bloodworth was a little bit better, right? Bloodworth got it done, and Michigan is on to a 1-0 series lead. Richmond will beat up on San Francisco here for game number two, so we have a 2-0 lead against the Grizzlies, and then Seattle will come back and they will get a victory here in their game number two. San Fran actually scored 2 runs here in the top of the ninth to make it 14-7, but you can tell that it was just a blowout. Anyway, our top 6 in the order, top 5 actually, top 5 did everything. They did the load of the damage there for the good boys, and Piazza was pretty good. I wouldn't say he was really good. He went 7 innings. He kept us in the ball game, so I'm happy with that performance. That's all you can really ask for, especially when your offense has got your back like that. You take that W here. So Seattle, they bounce back, get a win here, 4-2. San Diego tried to make it close, scoring 2 runs in the 9th inning. And Clayton Hall was a beast. He went 4 for 4 in this game. Hemingway had 8 strikeouts. He went 7 innings. So they're getting a lot of good pitching, Seattle. I mean, that's really what the name of the game was for them all season long, was just good pitching. And we got a pretty good pitching matchup here. Patrick Hawkins, a 20-plus game winner. This man won the Cy Young, or best pitcher. We're going to call it best pitcher here in the GGBL. In the AL. And Connor Slater, he pitched well enough to get the victory here for Oklahoma City. Then Columbus comes back in game 2 with John Choi on the mound, and they'll get a victory here too. So Oklahoma City ties it up. Brady Erker had 2 hits. Simeon Karev had 2 hits. Slater was really good. 6 2/3, 1 earned, 7 strikeouts. Todd Galvin really was the entire offense here for Michigan. Only could muster up 1 measly little run. Had a double in there too. Hawkins was pretty good too, but he had a little trouble with the command. He had 4 walks, but he had a lot of strikeouts there. Kevin Stoitz, home run for Phoenix, and that was pretty much it. Spencer Clark was serviceable. 3 walks, 4 Ks against a really tough lineup. He's a young pitcher. You kind of just take it, right? But Columbus, I mean, they really put it on. They put it on Phoenix as far as the runs are concerned, right? So they got a lot of hits. They scored those guys in, and they did some damage. So we've got ourselves 1-1 series in 3 of the 4 series that are happening here. Richmond's the only 2-0 series, which means we're going to get into gameplay here for game 3. Simulating game number 3 for Seattle and San Diego. Seattle scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning. It was tied, guys. It was 4-4 going into the 9th, and there you go. So it's a 7-4 victory. Seattle gets it done. They're in the top of the 9th. Now,
the show
boom.
presents
Hey.
the National League Division Series. It's the Retrievers taking on the Grizzlies.
We're turning you off. We're turning you off, man. I forgot to do this from the live stream moments, guys. So here we go. Thanks, Boog, for the introduction. I will take that. We got Liam Warren here in game number 3, taking on this Richmond offense. It's going to be tough for him. Rich Norman's going to take the mound here. Probably not the best guy that I would look forward to having on the mound here to clinch this thing, but you know what? Let's give him a chance. Let's give him a shot. He had a good year last year, kind of out of nowhere, but looks like maybe I might be regretting that. We don't want to let a team like San Francisco coming back into this series, guys. We just don't want to even mess with it. Don't want to toy with it. Willie Talbot hits a home run. Second batter that he's faced is Rich Norman. Look, Ryan Berger. Oh my goodness, what a play. And then the pick on the other end by KAJ. Lederman's going to be thrown out there in the bottom of the 3rd. Let's take one more look at this. That was an in the hole. That was like a Javi Baez play by Ryan Berger. He's not naturally a shortstop. He's more of a first baseman. Play a little outfield there too, but shortstop, he can play it. And he's been playing there all season long. And look, he can swing it too. Got a good bat, got a good stick. So that's a leadoff double for Ryan Berger. Top of the 5th inning. Let's cash in. Brady Dunn steps up to the dish. Gonna loop this one right in front of Lederman. That should score Ryan Berger, and there you go. Richmond ties this thing up 1-1 here with 2 outs, no less. So that leadoff double by Berger leads to 2 more outs, and Brady Dunn comes through in the clutch, and look who we got here. Kingston Mondesir, not known for his power, hits a 3-run shot, and I've never seen this animation from Kingston Mondesir. We never really see him hit home runs. He's flying around the bases. Good for show, right? It's because he's never hit one before. He doesn't really know how to trot the home run out, I guess. But a 3-run home run for Kingston Mondesir, and now we get Liat Lederman looking for some revenge here on Ryan Berger and the good boys' defense. We got a runner on first base here. Deep fly ball over Boucher's head. That's into the seats. That is a 2-run shot for Liat Lederman. And the Grizzlies find themselves down by 1 run. Let's jump here to the top of the 6th here again with that 1-run lead and Logan Boucher. More of that contact hitter against left-handers. He's going to take Juwan Rutkin deep. Man, what is up with the good boys here? Guys that don't normally hit home runs. Mondesir and Boucher, they must really like hitting bombs in Golden Gate Park. Love it. But 7-3 game, this thing's all but over. As Vito Vega hits a solo shot. It was no cheapie. At about a 106 exit velo there. Willie Talbot had a home run earlier in the game. And that's a base hit here to left field. So it is now 7-5 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Talbot comes through yet again in the clutch for his Grizzlies. All right, so a 2-run lead here for Richmond. We got to find a way to shut this thing down, and that's the biggest hitter in this lineup. You could argue Vincent Bonds, you could argue Vito Vega, but Timothy Pierce is probably the best guy of those 3, and we got him on strikes. So now it's time for Michael Slaughter. 44 saves and 55 attempts this season. 55 opportunities in a save spot. And Wyatt Street, a solo shot. And you want to talk about not a cheapie? 443 feet. That was ridiculous. Now a base hit here for Liat Lederman. This series is all but over. The tying run is at first. The winning run steps up to the dish. That is Kevin Codd. He's going to lay down a bunt. KJ, beautiful play to take away the lead runner at second base. That is an unbelievable play there by the first baseman. He's a slick fielder over there. Full count pitch here to Willie Talbot, and that's probably a good call there. But now the winning run is at first base. So here we go. Timothy Pierce, ground ball. Nice play by Scott Gonzalez. Flips it over to second. We cannot get the double play. Pierce grounds out into a fielder's choice, but now we got runners on first and third. Slaughter's day is done. We're going to call on Todd Ackerman to come in here and shut the door. Vincent Bonds, big hitter, swung on a miss at the cut fastball. He is down to his last strike. He's got a strikeout here in the 8th inning, and he's been 0 for today. Here's the pitch, 1-2, little looping fly ball to left, and Brady Dunn is there. He's got it. And the good boys will finish off the sweep. We will advance to the NLCS. That is the 4th straight season that the Richmond Good Boys have been in that series. We're looking to get back to the Gold Series yet again for the 4th straight year. Kingston Montesor will be your player of the game. 2 for 5, a home run, and 4 RBIs here today. KJ and Holberman 1 for 7 between the two of them, but Holberman did have a knock. KJ went 0 for. Go figure that. In gameplay, he never does much, does he? But really good pitching performance, I thought, from Rich Norman. Just kind of knowing his skill set, right? Knowing what he's able to do. But the only offense San Francisco could muster up was via the home run. So, man, if they just had more runners on base, we probably would have been dead in that game. So here's a little quick snapshot of the pitching matchups and where we stand in each series. So Michigan, OKC, they are tied 1-1. We got Willie Escobedo against Ragnar Lothbrok, and another good pitching performance for both teams. But OKC comes through with the tie-break victory. And then on the other side, Phoenix and Columbus. Phoenix will get a huge victory. That cannot be understated how big that game was. We'll take a look at that box score. But now Phoenix is in the driver's seat, 2-1. And also, huge victory there for OKC. This is a team that just barely snuck in. You remember, they went 83-79. So, to take on a Michigan team that boasts a really good pitching staff, they're grinding this series out. These games are very, very low score. So OKC, they take the lead, but that series is far from over. Now, Delman Marsh was bad. 5 earned in as many innings as he went, but Phoenix, that offense came through, guys. Sean Nakamura was a beast. 7 innings, 1 earned, and 8 strikeouts. And
the
boom.
show presents the National League Division Series. It's Seattle taking on San Diego.
With one on the brink of elimination and the other just a win away from putting an end to this thing. In the postseason.
When are you guys just going to buzz off, man? Buzz off. I don't want you in here. I don't want you in here. This is my game now. We got the highlights here. Let's jump to the top of the 5th inning. 2-1 series lead for Seattle. And Tony Flowers. That is error number 2 for Tony Flowers. So I've had enough. I'm taking him out. And the CPU says Castaneda's day is done. What you didn't see was Castaneda was pretty effective against Seattle here until that 5th inning. Everything's been kind of knotted up here, nothing until Tony Flowers makes error number 2. So Danny Riddle comes into the game here, and we got nobody down. That's a base hit for Kobayashi. That will score the game's first run. And again, the Gauchos have some defensive problems out here. They got some lapses. Connor Murphy hits the cutoff man. Didn't cost him a base, but they're not very focused right now. Harold Otto in the bottom of the 5th. Another strikeout for Steve Morgan. Take a look at the number there. Did you see it? Number 10, guys. I could have shown you the back and forth striking out people left and right from Castaneda and Morgan, but one guy was dominant. The other guy was pretty decent, right? Castaneda was pretty decent, but Morgan has been dominant. 1 hit. He's got 11 strikeouts at the end of the 5th inning. One guy has been dominant. And then look at the defensive lapses here. Second baseman lets it go underneath his glove. Connor Murphy lets it go underneath his glove. And Irizarry is head for 3rd. That's a triple. Just because San Diego cannot handle the baseball. Something's up. Something's weird. 3-1 pitch here for McCullough, the catcher. Lift the fly ball deep there. Carson Willard at the track. He'll make the catch, but that will definitely score the outfielder, Rafael Irizarry. Throw does come in, but way, way late. Not going to happen there. Not going to go get him. And then Danny Riddle comes up, and he cannot get a knock. That's his first at-bat against Steve Morgan, and he's got 12 strikeouts. Here's another 2-strike count. Jeremy Floyd strikes out. Stolen base is successful. Cabrera gets in there, but Morgan's now got 13 strikeouts. 1-1 pitch, ground ball. Nice play there by Damian Campbell, and that's going to do it for the 6th inning. Steve Morgan gets out of it, and he gets a quality start under his belt. We'll jump all the way here to the bottom of the 9th. San Diego still's got no offense to show for it today. The pitching was just way too good in this series for Seattle, and that will do it. Congratulations to the Emeralds on advancing to the NLCS. Whew, isn't that a matchup? We'll talk more about that in the GGBL podcast Sunday night, I'm sure. We'll do a little preview with the gang. But, man, what a matchup, guys. What a matchup. Richmond and Seattle in the NLCS. Of course, we know about all the storylines in that matchup there. Of course, Shevchuk and KJ. trading places with Seattle and Richmond, both having really good seasons, but one team was better off, I feel like. Seattle won over 100 games this year, guys, and they're really, really tough. Shevchuk has been a godsend to that pitching staff. I think maybe even Steve Morgan has learned a little something from Shevchuk, don't you think? But good season again for San Diego. They just can't seem to get over the hump with Seattle, it seems. They seem to have their number, but hey, Richmond seems to have Seattle's number. So it's kind of this weird hierarchy, if you will. So let's not talk too much about that anymore. Let's get into this game, because we finally get to see these guys in gameplay. Remember, we had to sim that game? It was like game 1 or game 2. I think it was game 1. Now we get Ramos Jr. and Janiel Rivera lining up against each other here, man. 7 innings the last time for Rivera. He was pretty darn good, .71 whip. But now we get him in gameplay. And Phoenix, with that 2-1 lead in the series, they could shut it down here at home against the defending champs. They got him on the ropes, guys. But in the first inning, Ramos Jr.'s got 19 pitches already as he faces Janiel Rivera with the bases loaded and 3 straight walks. And he throws a fastball right by him. That is gutsy. 1-2 pitch here to Janiel, and he strikes him out. The curveball. Nasty pitch. Didn't really want it by the looks of it. And then he's going to blow a fastball by the MVP of the AL. Mario Mazza strikes out. Riley Barr strikes out. He's just been blowing that fastball right by the Cardinals. Man, what an inning there for Rico Ramos Jr. But in the top of the third, Frankie Bowen finally makes him pay. Runner on base, they finally are able to get some runs across. And that one's got to hurt for Ramos Jr. here. Still top of the third inning, and no. So where it should have probably been 3-0 in the first, it is now 3-0 here in the third. John Choi and Frankie Bowen, back-to-back home runs. Columbus has got the lead. Ouch. But again, they kind of seemed like they deserved it, right, at the first inning. So they got the runs that they deserved. However, Kevin Stoitz. I have run out of words about this guy. I don't have any other words. He's unbelievable. I think it's the batting stance, but that power is just otherworldly. 2-run home run for Phoenix, and then we got Angelo Ruth here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 3-1 pitch, and he takes this one all the way to the wall. Great play by Frankie Bowen just to play that off of the hop, and it is a double, a one-out double here for Phoenix, and they're back in business here. Hannibal Lobo against Janiel. He's got the base hit. Oh no, Lou Jernigan dove for this one, and it's going to be all the way to the wall. Bowen gets it back in, but Lobo probably should have had more bags than just a double, but that's okay. Phoenix will tie it all the way up. That's a huge spot. So we're going to jump to the bottom of the seventh, guys. Still 3-3 game. Colton Cannon in a huge spot right there. He strikes out against the reliever, Greg Graves, and we know that Graves loves to strike people out. However, Kevin Stoitz comes up. And he's going to fly out to left fielder John Choi. Let's jump here to the top of the eighth as Melendez is out here. He strikes out Daniel Anderson. That's a big K right there. Lou Jernigan steps up in a full count. Ground ball here to second baseman Marty Dennison. He'll make the throw over to first base McCallum. 3-2 pitch here. Lobo draws a walk. That's huge. So now 2 runners on base for Chuck Storm and a 3-1 pitch. That's going to be a little low. And now it's bases loaded for Phoenix. So we'll see if they can come through, whereas Columbus didn't in the first inning. Ground ball to third, and Till goes to second base. But what a play by Mario Mazza with the spinning throw to get the out at first. But oh no, Till, we're in the bottom of the eighth, guys. Phoenix has now got the lead. That's so important. You got to go home. You have to. You got the double play right there. You can go 4, you can go 1. But now it's a 4-3 game for Phoenix. And this now is the last at-bat for Columbus in the top of the ninth. So a mental error there by Till. And Columbus could be out of this series with 2 more outs. Unbelievable. So now we get John Choi. 2-2 pitch. Striking him out is Damian Smoove. But Lonnie McQueen steals a bag, so the tying run now is at second base. And now you got to get Janiel Rivera here. Already got a single in the game. Full count pitch from Smoove to Janiel, and he takes it looking. Strike 3 called. The champs have been dethroned. The Phoenix Firebirds will advance to the ALCS. Wow. There's a lot of different ways you could spin that the way that this game went. Columbus had opportunities with bases loaded on offense, and they had an opportunity on defense to really kind of put the nail in the coffin here against Phoenix in this game number 4. Think about it. First inning, they get nothing out of those bases loaded situations. They got nothing. Then, bases loaded on defense, they should have gone 4 and then to 1 to get the double play that they were shooting for, and then to preserve the tie, because then all you need is one more out. Bases loaded, you can go anywhere with 1 out. So just bad mental baseball right there for Columbus, probably cost them the series. So let's get into this matchup here. Let's not do Michigan and OKC dirty here by talking about the other series. So Carson Silva's getting the start here tonight to hopefully advance the Cyclones to the ALCS against Phoenix, their AL West division rival. Bottom of the third, we've got Brandon Catfish with a base hit. No RBI, but he's all pumped up here. They're moving the line, as they say. 1-2 pitch here on Bellamy Bloodworth. He's pitching out there for Michigan, and they're going to get 2 runs scored here off the bat of Simeon Karev. Base hit. Urker's going to score. Catfish moves to second. We got Berger stepping up. Deep drive. Could be a 3-run shot. Look at this. Oh, man. He's just fighting it, man. He's fighting it. Berger in gameplay is just fighting it. You know who's not fighting it? Just letting it ride? Carson Silva, man. It's another strikeout for him. He's up to like 6, I think. Bloodworth's been pitching fine. 1-2 pitch here. He gets another strikeout here. Another strikeout for Silva. 8. He's up to 8 Ks. Shutting out Michigan. It's a tough lineup here. Bloodworth with the cut fastball is going to get Urker. He's up to 5. 1-2 pitch here. Catfish. Base hits in the gap. On a 1-2, he goes the other way. Humberto fires it back in, but it's going to go a little off wide. Is Catfish going for 3? He goes for 3. He gets there. It's a 1-out triple. OKC has a chance to tack on more runs against Bellamy Bloodworth, who's a very stingy starter there for the Mallards. But they do get Karev to pop up. Braden Leroy grounds out, and this is a situation you do just take the out because the inning is over. So that's not a bad move there. It's still 2-0. Bottom 7, Jordan. Line drive, home run. OKC up 3-0. Michigan's got themselves in kind of a hole here, guys. You don't have very many innings left. And then, again, in bottom of the 7th, Karev comes through with another base hit. That might score another run. Look, we've got another bad throw from the outfield, not hitting the cutoff man. And the run's going to score. Karev comes through, makes it 4-0. Michigan's going to have to go here to the bullpen. That's Derek Bolden comes on to try to shut this down. But, oh no, he throws a curveball. It's going to get away from Ipman and advance the runner to third base. Little chopper. And they're going to try to cut it down at home. But Karev is too quick. Ipman's throw is too late. And Leroy is safe at first base. It is 5-0 OKC. Michigan, though, in the top of the 8th, they've got Jerome Torres. He comes up huge with a 3-run home run to get the Mallards back into the game and keep this series, keep their hopes alive here. They got 2 more runs to go, though, and they got to shut down the OKC offense. Can they do it? Well, they're going to go with the youngster Dean Binks in the next inning to try to do just that. Keep the game 5-3. That's where you need it. They got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th after a strikeout. Here's another 2-2 pitch, another 2-strike count. And Binks able to receive that nicely from Dalton Jett at first, and that does the job. So that's the end of the 8th inning. 3 hits for Michigan. The Cyclones pitching staff has been on point. So can Brian David clutch it up here and shut it down for OKC? Well, Dom Taylor's got something to say about that. He says, my season's not over. Solo home run with nobody out. It is now 5-4. Next batter up, Luigi Mazza. What has he got cooking? 2-2 pitch. David strikes him out. And he's pumped up, and I don't know if Luigi Mazza really likes that. Who's ever heard of Brian David? Everybody's heard of Luigi Mazza showing him up like that. Dalton Jett draws a walk. Humberto strikes out. And if we've known anything about this guy, up to the plate, Ipman is so clutch. That's a deep drive to left field, but looks like Urker's underneath it. He's got it, and the Cyclones will advance to the ALCS. What is going on in OKC? Whew. These guys are something else. These guys barely got into the postseason. It's just the same old story for these AL West teams, guys. We saw it with the Colorado Coyotes, although they seemed like they were a little bit more hot than the Cyclones coming into this. But they won their wild card matchup. Now they've won their divisional round, their divisional series, and now they're here in the ALCS to take on their AL West rival, the Phoenix Firebirds. Bloodworth wasn't bad. 2 walks, 5 Ks, 2 earned. He was pretty good, but OKC's offense was just a lot better, man. 2 for 4, 3 ribbies for Karev. They had the home run, a triple. They just really, they killed it. Plus, Carson Silva did a job, guys. 9 strikeouts. And this guy just continues to clutch up and perform at the high level. He's finally got a shot, and he's making the most of it, man. And, you know, that's sometimes all you need. You just need one guy like that, and he becomes your X factor. So it's something to watch out for, man. OKC is a little dangerous right now. If I'm Phoenix, I'm not, even though I've seen a lot of OKC, I'm probably not going to be taking them for granted. You know, Phoenix, they're a good team. They got a lot of things working in their favor right now. Good offense, good players, good pitching, really good bullpen. But I would look at OKC as kind of the dangerous, very dangerous team right now. On the other side, you got Seattle, Richmond, and we know full well about that matchup, don't we? We've got, again, the Shevchuk, KAJ drama, of course. KAJ wanted out of Seattle. He didn't think that they were moving in the right direction, and he wanted to go to a winner. Well, probably the most consistent team, the most consistent franchise in the entire GGBL to this point has been Richmond. I mean, literally, we've made it to the Gold Series 3 years in a row, and now the NLCS 4 years in a row. Thanks, of course, to KJ and the cast and crew that's been there for a while, right? So Richmond's been building for this. They want this. They've been trying their hardest to finally win one, man. The window is starting to close on some of these players that they have here, like Ricky Holberman, right? So go out, go get yourself a KJ, and allow Ricky to have a little bit of protection in that lineup. That's been something that they've sought for quite a while. They got that. Ricky wins an MVP. And maybe it could be his final season. And KJ looks like he's going to be maybe the eventual leader of the team when Ricky's gone. But getting rid of Shevchuk has actually been really good for his career, Shevchuk's career. He goes to Seattle. He has the best year of his entire GGBL career. And he was always in the number 2 role underneath James Monroe's thumb a little bit, right? He didn't get the limelight, didn't get the spotlight, but now he goes to Seattle. He's the ace, and he's the dude, man. He was one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in the NL this year. So both teams, I feel like they won the trade. They're here. They're 1 series away from a Gold Series appearance, and no matter who we get in the matchup, I think, whether it's Seattle Phoenix, Seattle OKC, or the opposite, Richmond, Phoenix, Richmond, OKC. I think it's always going to be, no matter what, it's going to be a fun Gold Series, no matter who gets in there. One thing's for certain, the defending champs are gone. We haven't had it in the GGBL. Looking back at season number 1, Washington. Season number 2, we had Colorado. Season number 3, we had Columbus. And now season 4, it's going to be somebody else that's new. So no back-to-back champions this season. Maybe in year 5. We'll see. But guys, that is it for the video. Leave a like if you like this thing. I will see you back here next Friday for the championship series. That'll be, again, another highlight reel video. And honestly, we might even live stream over that weekend to finalize the championship series. Of course, if we can't do that through just a normal video recording. So, guys, I'll see you in the next one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and peace.